Greetings, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. Project Officer Adafih Thomas and Senior Specialist Ryane Rollock, they join us to discuss NIHERST, the virtual science festival, Sci-Techknofest 2.0. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Ms. Rollock, I want to start with you though. Give us an idea of NIHERST's mandate and the services offered. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having us, DK. NIHERST, or the National Institute of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, was established as a statutory body in 1984 to promote the development of science, technology, and higher education in Trinidad and Tobago. And we see this as a means to enhancing the innovative, creative, and entrepreneurial capabilities of the general population. Through our efforts, we envision a nation and region that can apply scientific, technological, and innovative solutions to propel socioeconomic and environmental research in Trinidad and Tobago. We strive to better understand through our initiatives applications in Trinidad and Tobago and in the region as well, and keep us current in these areas according to international standards. In order to make science relatable to the masses, we have created many outreach initiatives with our trademark or signature event being Sci-Techknofest 2.0, which is the return of the festival after a couple years' absence.
Thank you so much for that. And Ms. Thomas, why does NIHERST see the need for Sci-Techknofest 2.0 to be hosted?
Okay, so Sci-Techknofest 2.0, of course, is our first virtual iteration of the Sci-Techknofest Festival, which we've held in person for 7 or 8 iterations thus far. And with this festival, we see the need to build science capital. So what exactly is science capital? It's essentially this idea that, the more you have of it, the more likely you are to believe that, science is for you. So primarily we're looking to build scientific literacy. We're looking to change, attitudes towards science, ways that people think about science. Persons have that perception that, science is difficult and, it's not really something that, is applicable to me. So we're hoping to change those attitudes. We're hoping to show, the youth that, science and technology can open doors to them, they can, pursue studies in science, they can pursue careers in science. And, festivals of this nature also give, students and youth in particular who are still in school an opportunity to, engage in science outside of a formal classroom setting. In general, we'd like the public to, understand the relevance of science in everyday life. And we'll also like to, encourage them to, engage and appreciate science and technology. So that's what we're really trying to do with this festival, make science, technology, and information more accessible and more, palatable for the public.
Thank you so much. And ladies, I'm hearing some key words coming up, and it seems as though you all are sharing similar sentiments. So if we talk about things like relevance, relatability, enhancing entrepreneurial energies as it pertains to sciences, because I think sometimes as soon as people hear science, they think about someone with the glasses this thick and you're wearing a white coat and you're by yourself in a room, as opposed to saying, okay, well, these are things that relate to everyday life. So someone, I think it was just yesterday, was bringing the issue of working in the kitchen and looking at how science is relatable to these sorts of things. But with that in mind, though, Ms. Rollock, who is the target audience for Sci-Techknofest 2.0?
Well, I would say the target audience is everyone, from preschool to pension. Honestly, we are targeting everyone. We are targeting creatives. We are targeting science and technology professionals. I think with this festival, we have something to offer to every person in Trinidad and Tobago and wider reach the region, because as you know, it's a virtual festival. So the opportunities are endless for us to showcase what Trinidad and Tobago is doing in this space. So really and truly, it's for everyone. There's something for everyone, and everybody should take some time to either log on to our platform, Sci-Techknofest.org, or visit us at our in-person locations.
And definitely we're going to ask for that information again. But Ms. Thomas, and I really like that. I really like that line, Ms. Rollock, preschool to pension. But in terms of like the theme for this the virtual iteration, what is it, Ms. Thomas?
All right, so as persons would be aware from our various marketing campaigns, we were very excited about our theme this year, the deep tech revolution. So of course, persons will, when you hear deep tech, and most persons will think, space exploration and all these things. But what deep tech really is, it's, a way of reimagining, fundamental capabilities that are applicable to real and significant problems. So it's an opportunity for, technologies to be developed that will enhance, the way that we solve problems as humans, allow us to, work faster, more efficiently, effectively, etc. So what we are hoping to do with this festival is showcase, some of the deep technologies, for example, artificial intelligence, extended reality, 3D printing, Internet of Things, persons may know it as IoT, blockchain, autonomous vehicles, and quantum computing. So, of course, with the pandemic, we realized, of course, the importance of technology, and a lot of, Trinidadians and persons within the region would have realized the importance and value of, having technology assist us, in working remotely or, accomplishing certain tasks, whether it be in manufacturing, agriculture, finance, medicine. So what we're trying to do is, show how we can optimize all of these various sectors and use these emerging technologies to, prepare and benefit, from, in our lives. These technologies are going to bring radical changes to our lives, and we want persons to be aware that, this is on the horizon. We're already, I would say, into the fourth industrial revolution, which is, surrounding these technologies. So we definitely thought it would be useful to highlight to the general public and region.
Thank you so much. And I'm not throwing this question to any one of you specifically because I took in a little bit of fire. What about the person who wants to go a little backward? So lo-fi technology, saying, okay, well, this indigenous knowledge, what is the usage of it? So being able to bring these things and use them in a manner, especially since the pandemic has shown us how sensitive some environments are, ecosystems, in terms of supply chains. We're looking at supply chain issues because of other things that are prevailing outside of Trinidad and Tobago right now. So is it only going one way forward when we think about deep tech, or can we look back and say, well, Granny was doing this and it was making sense? How can we use this way in a manner that's possibly a little more efficient, so we don't need to have to go and purchase and spend resources that we don't necessarily have at this point in time?
Well, I think I'll start off here. And I think what you are talking about is reflected in sustainability and sustainable practices. And of course, we touch on those during the festival. I wouldn't say that we're going back, however, because forward ever, backward never. But we really do need to assess what worked in the past and see how we could adapt that for current offerings and current operations in our businesses, etc. Because, if something improves, why change it? However, technology offers us the opportunity to improve on how we practice or better business, all of those sorts of things. So while we may remain with some ideas from the past, which would have made things sustainable, like decentralizing agriculture and that sort of thing, we are taking the opportunity that technology provides for us to improve, because there's always room for improvement in any practice, any operation. And We want to make sure that we in Trinidad and Tobago are not being left behind in terms of industry standards, international standards, that sort of thing. So while yes, I agree that, we have figured out some things in a way that, people might say, well, that worked better. And when we didn't have to depend on the internet for everything, for example, we could have done these things and you didn't need these things. But it has improved how we do things. Having Google at our fingertips to get information has helped us to improve. Having those supply chain mechanisms and tracking has helped us to improve in delivery of products and services. So while we look and we appreciate what was done in the past, we also try to use technology and make it stable and sustainable for us as users to continue and move forward and improve.
Thank you so much, Ryane, Rollock, and Adafih Thomas. We're speaking about Sci-Techknofest 2.0. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are going in depth on Sci-Techknofest 2.0 with senior specialist Ryane Rollock as well as project officer Adafih Thomas. And Ms. Thomas, I know this is the first one that is virtual, but are there other things about it that make it unique, make the event unique?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I wouldn't say that we're only virtual because now we're officially hybrid. As Ryane mentioned earlier, we do have in-person experiences also going on. But yes, this will be our first time hosting it virtually, and we really are excited that it is now so accessible. It's at the click of your finger, a click of a mouse. You download the app, you access the festival, and everything is right there for you in terms of content, exploration of a variety of topics in science, tech, research, engineering, even the arts. We have arts, dancing, cultural performances involved, and of course mathematics areas. We have a variety of festival experiences that persons can engage in, from visiting virtual booths, participating in workshops, going to our in-person locations. Persons can also participate in a lot of competitions. We do have a lot of exciting competitions going on, both on the virtual platform, and we have, an exciting experience, virtual escape rooms, that we've never done in any previous festival. So, this pandemic has really forced us to, perceive or conceive rather, a new approach to, communicating science and technology to our audiences, and we're really excited with the outcome, and we hope that persons will enjoy this experience at the festival.
And if
just
I may
before,
add as well, if I may add, I just wanted
please.
to add that we wanted to remove any barriers to access, even though it's online and virtual. With our partner NALIS, we have been able to make it accessible for the wider population who may not have a device or may not have access to the internet. So on Monday, well, we were at Sangre Grande. Today, we were in Point Fortin. Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll be in Rio Claro. Thursday at Couva, Friday at Maloney, and Saturday at Scarborough libraries across the country to make that accessible. And the library NALIS has made it accessible by also allowing for the streaming of our platform. So using their internet and using their devices to let the public come in and access our platform, our virtual celebration of all things science technology in this festival.
And with that in mind, I want to ask you, possibly, Ms. Thomas, what does that mean for being able to curate these events and archive them? Say, okay, well, this is what happened. This is something that we can build on, Ms. Rollock. I use your term in terms of like, this is what happened. We're able to build the experience a little more. How important is it to have these forward movements?
I would say it's absolutely important. We like to encourage, science advancement and skills development. That's one of our key, pillars of our strategic plan and our mandate, encouraging persons to, develop 21st century skills, and, become more engaged in science and technology. I mean, we may sound like we're repeating ourselves, but this is really what it's about. So, with this sort of experience and also with it being virtual, we now have a variety of resources that the public is going to be able to access, for a long time to come. So we're really excited that, our content partners who are also on board with us, would have worked hard towards creating, various virtual and interactive experiences that can be made accessible following the festival. We're live this week in terms of our various presentations that are going on the platform. And what we want the public to know as well is that for a month following the festival, the actual platform will also still be open. And then following that 1 month, of course, these resources are also going to be made available. So we really enjoyed that we were able to, give this to the Trinidad and Tobago public as well as the region and the international communities.
Thank you so much. And you spoke about some of the partners, the streaming partners, and makes me want to ask, who are some of those partners, the stakeholders who are part and parcel of bringing this access, making sure that the event happens, Ms. Rollock?
Well, we first and foremost want to acknowledge our platinum sponsor, Shell Trinidad and Tobago Limited, who really believed in our vision and backed us to develop this whole Sci-Techknofest 2.0. We also have as silver sponsors TTT, NGC, Republic Bank, Massey Foundation, and of course, Nalis as our hybrid offering partner and making things available and facilitating the availability of the platform to the wider Trinidad and Tobago population through their facility use, as well as hosting our in-person offerings. So we really want to thank our sponsors because they backed us, they understood the vision, and they supported us as we developed this really interesting and first of its kind festival for Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Thomas, you have the registration information, and then we go to Ms. Rollock for closing comments. So we're doing that now, thank you, in these last 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Persons can register. Everyone log on, click of a mouse, go on your devices, log on to www.sci-techknofest.org. And as soon as you're on the festival landing page, you should see a nice button. Click here to register. And that's all you have to do. Click to register. It's a very short, registration form. And once you're registered, you're able to log into the platform. You can also visit the www.NIHERST.gov.tt website for further information. But the main festival platform is at Sci-Techknofest.org. So we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rollock. You have the floor.
Well, I just want to say thank you again for having us, for letting us showcase this endeavor of love that is Sci-Techknofest for us. We hope that through this offering, Trinidad and Tobago, the region, and the international community will be first reintroduced to offerings from NIHERST and our Science Center. So much has changed everywhere with COVID-19 and our closures, and we're now starting to have some semblance of returning to pre-pandemic conditions. So we want to reintroduce NIHERST to the public, all our offerings through this festival. We want to introduce the public to some of these deep tech availabilities that are being really spearheaded through this time. Over the past 2 years, we've seen significant advancements in these areas and making it available for our public to adopt emerging technologies in their everyday life. And so at the end of it, entice and encourage persons to pursue careers in STEAM and see how it applies to their everyday life. So just a better appreciation for STI.
And speaking about appreciation, we appreciate you very much, ladies. Adafih Thomas and Ryane Rollock of NIHERST talking about Sci-Techknofest 2.0. This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. On behalf of the entire TTT News team, thank you for joining us.